high like angel of dust, we a PS. The rebels and we rockin' that shit. Two immigrants from Africa be talking that Swahili. We're every day on safari through the concrete city. Rebels on the conquest to abolish everything, but for now, settle down, find a crowd with the same energy you carry round. Gather round, not a single enemy can hold you down. Get a stand with the sound within the beat to hold the crowd. Got a fist and fold it out. Got a fro, get it pink and comb it out. But we all shake our lights, we'll be showing now. No doubt you found a profound Afrocentric Afro sound.
Did you hear this, brother? This is some serious business. The rebels.
Jamaliza, from the sound of the speaker, Maisha. Graffiti all over the Giza, Egypt. Two kings with some bad Queen Latifah. Reaches on. Why everybody claiming king to a throne? When kings get the throne, when rebels get it going. Movements eventually taking over. All black camouflage painting over my face with a spear on stage. I become the very face of every face that ever said death in the very face. And survive that shit like rebels and renegades. Just wanna live for the better days. And if it's lemon, make lemonade. Had ice cubes in the dinner plate. In this beautiful yet cold world, prepare your heartbeat to break like.
Oh my goodness. Can you open your ears and listen to these brothers? The rebels.
Did you hear those boys? That's some serious business. The PS Rebel. Shit.
Welcome to the Flame Show. I am your girl, Kay, TheTruth. If you're not dealing with Kay, it's definitely not the truth. We have in-studio guest, Show-Olinka Green. She's an activist, she's a public speaker, and she's just a phenomenal woman. Welcome, Sister Olinka. How are you?
Good morning, Sister Kay. How's everything with you, my sister?
Everything is fantabulous. I am so excited to have you on the show. You have so much knowledge, so much history to share. You're just awesome. And I'm just happy to have you in the studio. Give you all the praises.
Well, I'm happy. I'm honored to be on your show this morning. I'm really, really honored. And it's just a pleasure to know that you're out there putting in the work and getting your voice out there into the world, you know? That's awesome right there.
Now that is a lot coming from you. But I gotta give the people a little bit of background on who Show-Olinka Green is, who she is. I just got more than 3 words, but 3 subjects. New Black Panther Party, Black Lives Matter, Mothers Against Police Brutality. That says a lot, right? And I just summed that up in a few short, words. But let's get into, how did you actually become an activist? What made you get involved in the fight, the struggles of the world?
It ain't what you think it is. It wasn't police brutality. It was a can of tuna. Yeah, you don't laugh.
Really?
When I was in the 3rd grade, I found out that Star-Kissed tuna, I love tuna. Tuna, everybody has Star-Kissed tuna, Charlie tuna. I found out that they were killing dolphins illegally for the tuna fish. For the, killing, the fish, the fish and all of that. And I boycotted the fish. I told everybody in my school in the 3rd grade and in my house, we're not buying this tuna fish. We're not buying this because they're killing the fish. And so that's how
So you started off with that mindset in the 3rd grade. That is amazing.
Yeah, in the 3rd grade. I just knew someone right. I knew someone right when I saw that on Channel 13. That they was doing that. They was killing them fish illegally. And you're not, basically what it was is albacore. Put it this way, it's albacore tuna. Albacore fish, you're not supposed to, albacore tuna, they are a protected species of fish. And the people who produced the Starkist fish was going out there killing them. And basically right now, if you look at it, albacore tuna fish, they're almost extinct. So,
and it started off with you.
Yep. So I told my friends at school, don't tell your mom and them don't be buying that tuna. And I told the people in my house, when we go to the store like Big Mama, don't buy that tuna. They're killing the fish. It's illegal. So that's how they got started.
So how receptive was your family to you when you said we're not buying it? Did they understand, or they was like, girl, child, please? How did your family that your friends?
They was like, girl, child, please, we gonna buy what we can buy with these books of food stamps. Sit your butt down.
But then you went from boycotting the tuna fish and, to help save the dolphins to,
right.
I guess, the new Black Panther Party? How did that happen?
Yeah. Basically what it was is I grew up in a black nationalist home, put it that way. I grew up in a black nationalist home where I went to an all-black school. It was only one of two black independently run school districts in the state of Texas. The other one is in Houston, and this one was in Dallas, Texas, and it was Wilma Hutchins. So I had all-black teachers. We had black curriculum. We just knew that we were black. You know what I'm saying? And we just had that sense of pride. Our teachers told us that we were black and be proud and be black. And when in my household at night, there was three things I knew that was going to happen. Dr. Martin Luther King was going to come on radio and say, I have a dream. Malcolm X was going to talk about by any means necessary. And Jesse Jackson was going to say, I am somebody. So I grew up with that from the age of 4 to the age of 16. And I always had a sense of blackness in me. So when I was 21, I went to jail for a domestic violence charge. The guy who was jumping on me and beat me, I fought back. And being a black woman and being poor and being a single black woman and having children and being on welfare, nobody really talks to you about legalities and how you can win your cases. So I just pled guilty. And if you really look at the court, if you look at the system, that's what happens to a lot of black single women who are living in poverty. We get involved in these situations, and when we go to court, we wind up being guilty. But anyway, I went to jail, and I got to reading. And, I had read Malcolm X when I was a kid. I started reading when I was like 3. So I was always reading. And when I got out, these two young brothers named Terrence and Jamie, downtown Dallas, in front of the federal court building, were passing out flyers. And they're like, say, sister, I want you to come to this meeting. I'm like, meeting? Yeah, we getting the new Black Panther Party is here. And I'm like, the new Black Panther Party, like, what happened to the old party? And then I remembered that it had been destroyed by COINTELPRO, that the government had knocked it out.
Wait a minute, Sister Olinka. Huh? I want to go back a little bit, because, I like to find the funny in something. So you went to jail for domestic violence. Was it an IDP type situation? Did you beat him with your boot, or what happened?
You know what? Yeah, basically, I didn't. What happened was that some homies in the community, and it's weird because one of them became my bail bondsman. They got tired of this dude jumping on me all the time, and some brothers in the community put foot to that ass, and put foot to his ass. But because I fought back, I wound up going to jail for that. I wound up because I took it upon myself to defend myself, and they wound up making me the victim. So I took a 5-year charge. It only did 7 months, but the way that they came at me is that, like, you got these 2 kids. If you don't plead guilty, we're going to give you 5 to 10. So not having any understanding of the law back then, I had to go on and don't take them 5 years. And the lawyer told me, he said, you'll just do 7 months, which I did. But again, being poor, black, and not having an understanding of the legal system, Not knowing that if I would have went to trial with my medical evidence, with the police reports, I could have came out on top. But being scared and having these people throw your children at you, that you could possibly lose your kids and go to jail for 5 to 10, that, I had to go on and plea bargain, which is a lot of what happens to a lot of us when we plea bargain. We don't understand that we really throwing our life on the court. So that's what happened with them. Right, yeah. So when I got out, and so when I got out, I was walking downtown and I met these 2 brothers, and they was telling me that the Black Panther Party was being rebuilt, built, and it was calling for the new Black Panther Party, and it was led by this brother named Aaron Michael, who started it as basically as a drug patrol, a community patrol. And I went to the meeting over at Martin Luther King Center in South Dallas with me and my 2 kids, and I just knew right then and there that's what I wanted to be. I knew that's what I wanted to be involved in, and I was like 21 at that time. And
you still an active member?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've phased out, but they still my friends. They still my partners. They still my brothers. We still have a camaraderie that they always gonna be my brother, because some people that was in there, and later on when we talk about some stuff, they came for me and they helped me, and I'ma always be a part of that organization, even though I'm not with them actively. They always gonna be my brother.
What are some of the cases you actually dealt with? Because I've heard stories that you actually helped out with the new Black Panther Party. Because I know you stayed in some families' homes to help them overcome some issues. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say what really influenced me, so those that are listening can have some background history. When I went to this meeting and they were doing political education, they showed a film on Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., who was a 21-year-old black man, who was the chairman of the Chicago Black Panther Party. He was 21, and the FBI had a file on him since he was 14. But I heard him say, "I'm not going to die in an airplane crash. I'm not going to die in a car crash." He said, "When I die, I'm going to die high off the people." He said, "If you live for the people, you got to die for the people. You got to be a part of the people. You got to be a community for the people." And when I heard this 21-year-old man say these things, it touched my core, and I knew that I wanted to be. And then finding out that the Chicago police assassinated him in his bed with his pregnant wife, that touched me. I knew right then and there that that's what I wanted to be. So, for references, Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. is what got me started. And so, when you ask about some of the cases, yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. I want to say that I saw those pictures, and that was horrific. All those gunshot wounds by the bed, him laying in the bed, her being pregnant. Rest in peace, Fred Hampton Sr., and shout out to Fred Hampton Jr., which I had the opportunity to meet him. But that's just amazing, and sad story, because it tells then that the Chicago police or the government already knew what a force he was already going to be. So that's how that came, because it didn't take. And not only did he got shot and killed, and then the wife of whoever was actually by the door got killed as well. Do I have that story correct?
His right hand name, Mark Clark, the guy that was on the couch, was supposed to be doing security. Basically, what it was, somebody on the inside, a snitch, a agent, put phenobarbital, put downers in Chairman Fred's Kool-Aid, in Mark Clark's Kool-Aid, and knocked him out. And so that's why they was able to come in there and do that. And Chairman Fred's wife, she can tell. I had the opportunity last year to go up there to where Chairman Fred was killed at. They call it the massacre on Monroe. And every year they go and they stand there and they commemorate it. But her name is Akua. And I got to talk to her, and I asked her, I said, "What happened that night?" She said, basically, she said, Chum and Fred, went to bed, and she said, all of a sudden, they just started shooting. And, the bullets just started coming in. And she said she jumped. She was like, Sherman, the pigs is vamping on us, and she couldn't wake him up. And she said she jumped, and she said the bullets was coming so fast through the wall because they didn't come in the room and actually shoot him. They did that later. They came in and shot him in the head after they said, well, is the nigga dead? No, but he is good and now. And they shot him one more time in the head. And she said you could see the bullets coming through the wall, and it was just shaking his body. He was just shaking. You know what I'm saying? They were just getting in that hole. She jumped up, and she said, it's a pregnant woman in here. And the police was like, hold up, it's a woman in here. She's pregnant. And there's a sister in here. She's pregnant. And she said she jumped out the bed, and she was walking through his blood. It was just that much blood. And they made her lay down on her pregnant belly, and just for her to talk like that, But the other thing was, and I want to put this out there, is that I said, how did you know he was the one? How did you know Chum? She said, girl, because I saw her. She said, I saw him on TV talking about the Black Power movement. And she said, that was going to be my man. And she said, soon as she saw that he was coming to wherever he was coming to in her community, she said she was there. so she just knew that that's who she wanted to be. And she said she don't regret it. But, having an opportunity to talk to Chum and Fred's son and to talk to his mother and go up there and, man, that's love. And like I said, I knew that's what I wanted to be, Now, you was asking me about some of the cases and things that I've been involved in.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is that was Shaquanda Cotton in Paris, Texas, 2000 and I got to get my dates on. I'm getting old and I just woke up because I did a Black Studies, a Black History experience about myself last night at SMU, so I'm kind of tired from it. But,
didn't you get an award from SMU? You got an award too, right?
I did.
You got lots of awards.
I got an award from got one last night. Basically what it was is that Shaquanda Cotton is this Black 14-year-old girl down in Paris, Texas, and she had been accused of pushing a white teacher's aide. And now you got to understand a little bit about Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas is one of the most racist towns in Texas. There's a book called 100 Years of Lynching, and Paris, Texas is in there 8 or 9 times about lynching black men. So anyway, they tried to do illegal lynching on this little sister. And there was this white girl who was the same age. She set her house on fire. Now, Shaquanda was supposed to just push this teacher because his teacher assaulted her. The same judge that sentenced Shaquanda to 7 years in TYC gave this white girl shop probation. I mean, he let her go.
Wait a minute, what is TYC? For our listeners, can you let people know what TYC is?
Yeah, TYC is Texas Youth Commission. It's baby jail. Okay. It's a juvenile system. Yeah. And so, told her she would have to probably stay in there till she was 21. Just for supposed to pushing this white teacher. But the judge let this white girl off to set her house on fire. Talking about she just needed therapy. Yeah, right. So, anyway, Shaquanda's mother could not get any type of justice down there in this country town. So she came up here to talk to us. And nobody would take the case. It's like, man, man, we ain't dealing with that. And so I said, me and Aaron Collins, a good brother, he up there in California, out of Chicago. We like, you know what, we gonna go. So me and Aaron went down there. We met the community. We dealt with the community, and we stayed down there for about 2 years, on and off.
Wow.
Now, when we stand it, I got family here, but I'm down there, back and forth in your country towns. And got with the community, Miss Brenda Cherry, Miss Creola Cotton, who's her mother, And we like, you know what we got to do is that we've got to get this out to the media. And Howard Witt, who's a Chicago Tribune writer, he broke the story. But we came up here, we came back to Dallas, and this is when Ricky Smiley was just getting started. Not the Ricky Smiley you see now. We went to the radio station, and I talked to Ricky Smiley, and I told him, I said, Ricky, listen, this is what's going on. And Ricky come out of Birmingham, Alabama, which is the bastion for civil rights. Anyway, Ricky looked into it, and what had happened right about that time was this young brother downtown, I think it was right before the Prairie View Grambling game, something had happened, and some young man was kicked to death by some other youth in the community. And Ricky was so outraged about it that they had a town hall meeting. And I went, and that's how I met him. And so when this happened with Shaquanda, I knew that I had a friend in the media, which was radio, black radio, which is powerful. James Brown said, you need to have a black, if you can get your voice out there on the radio, that's powerful. So that's why I said what you're doing is powerful. I went to him, and I told him, and he met Creola, and he met Brenda, and he said, well, what y'all want to do? I said, man, we want to go shut this place down. So we went, and he said, we're going to go down there. He heard about the case, and he said, what we're going to do, we're going to make a caravan to Paris, Texas. We ain't buying no water, we ain't buying no food. We going down there, and we going to shut Paris, Texas down. And you can go on YouTube, and you can type in Shaquanda Cotton, but you can also type in protest in Paris, Texas, and you'll see exactly what happened. But we went down there, we raised so much hell about this girl's case, is that they let her go. And not only did they let her go, they let 400 other youth go that was in TYC, because it came out that these kids were being sexually abused by the administrative staff, by the guards. They were being given drugs. They were being beaten. It was a great big sex scandal, an abuse scandal.
Wow.
That was dealing with TYC. So that whole thing had to be restructured. And I'm glad that I was part of that to make that happen. And Shaquanda's out now. She's a grown woman. Huh?
I salute you for going down there. You left your family 2 years of your time to do something to make for the greater good. And that's amazing. Not a lot of people can say they would do that. You went down there and shut down, what do you call it, TYC?
Yeah,
right?
Youth Commission.
TYC.
Yep.
And you found out about a scandal on top of another scandal.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It was in the paper.
Those lives of those kids in there being abused.
Yep.
Taking advantage of.
Abuse. But you can look it up. I'm quite sure you have your computer in front of you. Look up sexual abuse scandal in TYC, and they let her go. And they let a whole bunch of other kids go. So I'm real proud of that. And Shaquanda is now a certified nurse today. She didn't leave. She stayed in Paris. Her mother stayed in Paris. She went to Paris, Texas Junior College. She's a certified nurse's aide. She got 2 beautiful babies, and she there, honey. She living. She didn't run. She did not run.
Speaking of abuse, speaking of abuse, I kind of want to switch around, and we're going to come back to the new Black Panther Party. But I remember, if I'm not mistaken, last year you were abused by the Dallas Police Department, and it was you. For what I understand, is that you were actually doing some type of event, passing out flyers with Mothers Against Police Brutality. Is that correct? And can you give us a little background on what happened?
I can do that, but I want to say, if y'all look up Shaquanda Cotton, she's in Wikipedia. Basically what it was this was before Sandra Bland, and what had inspired me was that the beatings and the killings of black women and black transgender women. And this was after Trayvon Martin and all of that. And, there were so many sisters being killed by police that nobody was really paying attention. Marion Pincock was a woman that was beaten by the California Highway Patrol. Rakia Boyd, Diana Jones, the one that was 7 years old, that was killed in her grandmother's house. And so I decided that I wanted to do a one-woman protest, and I had put all these black women on a board that had been killed by police, and I was walking through downtown Dallas, passing out flyers addressing this issue. Now, you got to remember, this is before Sandra Bland. Anyway, I was standing, and I want to make this correction. It wasn't Dallas police. It was DART police, Dallas Area Rapid Transit. And I was downtown, and I was at the DART station, which is a train station. And I was standing there, and I had my poster board on, and I had been passing out flyers, and there was this big, fat, white police officer named Jennifer Schmidt. She saw me passing out the flyers. And so I was standing there, and she came over to me, and she's like, do you have permission for DART to be standing here? I was like, to be doing this? I'm like, no. I was like, well, can I take my poster board off and just stand here and pass out flyers? Because you have Jehovah's Witnesses, you have Christian grace-based groups, you have everybody passing out flyers down there. She was like, no, you got to leave. And I guess she was offended about what my poster board said in my flyers. So anyway, I took my poster board off and I went around the corner and I called my boss.
Wait a minute, what did your poster board say?
My poster board just had pictures of black women that had been killed and assaulted by police. And it says, sister, are you safe? You know what I'm saying? A black woman ain't safe in America. And it just had pictures of black women that had been killed and beaten by police. And so I called my boss on the radio, and he's like, get her badge number, And so when I went back around the corner, I was like, officer, I was like 30 feet away from him. I'm like, officer, can I have your badge number? And she's like, didn't I tell you to get away? Didn't I tell you to leave? And so like, I'm leaving. And that wasn't good enough for her. And so she came to me on the Sedgway, and the Sedgway is like a scooter. And so when you really, really big, you can't run. You can't walk. You can't do active patrol like you want to on foot. So they put her on the Sedgway because she's so big. So when I'm trying to leave, her and this other officer pinned me in at this fence. And I'm holding on to this fence, trying to get over this fence. Because I was trying to get away from her. Because I knew what was coming. And they were trying to get me on my knee. They kept telling me to get on the ground. And I have had back surgery where I can't bend over. And what they do, they like to put their knee in your back. So that's 600 pounds. There's 3 from her and there's 3 from him. I'm holding on to this fence. And they're beating my hands trying to make me let this fence go. And she starts screaming that I'm hitting her. And I can't hit you if I'm holding on to this fence. And this white police officer, he put his finger, he grabbed my arm so hard that I have his fingerprint indentions in my arm for the rest of my life. They damn near broke my wrist. And then when she couldn't get my hands loose, she hit me in the face with a full can of mace. Not a small can, but I want to say about the size of a soda can full of mace.
Wait a minute, Sister Olinka. Let me get a kind of, can you draw the, was this nighttime? Were there people around?
No,
kind of give us
this
like
was daytime.
What the feeling was. Where were the people downtown?
The people, it was morning time, and the people, when she hit me with the mace and they saw the struggle, I couldn't see, but I started screaming, Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe. And people was like, man, what you doing? I was like, man, you trying to Freddie Gray me, Oscar Grant me, Black Lives Matter. And people was like, man, that's somebody's mama. That's somebody's grandmama. Man, what you doing? Y'all? People just started going crazy. And they tried to throw me in the back of this dark police car. I can't see, and I would not go. And I'm just hearing people all around me screaming and hollering at the police. And I could hear police cars coming. So I'm assuming that it was about to be a damn riot. And the Dallas Police Department came and got me from DART. They rescued me from DART because DART was trying to kill me. And when Dallas
lady, I remember that, Sister Olinka, I remember that woman's name. Had she had issues before, or am I mistaken?
Yeah. Yes, Jennifer Schmidt. Yeah, she had some write-ups, and so had the other police officer that had assaulted me. They had write-ups. Yeah, they had write-ups. Yeah, but Dallas Police Department came and got me from DART. and they put me in the ambulance, and Dart was like, we finna take her to jail. And they was like, no, her blood pressure's too high. We're not finna do that. And so Dallas police had to basically stop a damn riot down there. And so they took me to jail.
Did they realize who you are? Because you are actually a public figure.
No, they didn't realize. They didn't realize that till later on. And they took me to the hospital, and they tried to treat my eyes, and they couldn't. And then they took me to jail. And my lawyer, Dan Sullivan, came, and that's when the process started to begin. He got me moved out of solitary confinement. They got me put, in a safe place. But what was happening was that, and because like I said, I can't really, because I'm inside, but people started raising money. People started raising hell, from what I understood. And the next day, there was a great big immigration rally and a police brutality rally. And they came together. And people were downtown, just not for me, but there was people downtown protesting. This was Mothers Against Police Brutality. It had this rally, and I just happened to get arrested the day before. And the immigration rally. So it all came together, and it was just like a big rally. And people were outside holding up signs saying, "Free Olinka, free Olinka." And Dan Sullivan came and told me, Lincoln, he was like, Lincoln, within 2 hours, I think they had like $1,000, but they had charged me with assault to two police officers. Two public officials, and the fine was like $30,000. It was like $15,000 a piece for each charge. And the charge carried to the team.
Wow.
So while I'm in there, all this stuff is going on outside. And so maybe you can fill in on what was going on outside, because I don't know. All I know is Dan came and told me that it was hell going on outside. And don't worry, and everything is going to be okay.
Is that everybody was upset because Miss Olinka Green was wrongly placed in jail. I can tell you that. And there was a lot of people outside fighting for you to come out, but the biggest thing was the rally. The rally shut down the city of Dallas. It was from the park. It was from the whole downtown was blocked off. And you had nothing but thousands and thousands of people who gathered. And most of them were talking about free Olinka Green. Because we as a people and the work you've done in the community, from spending time living in people's homes, helping them, helping the youth, being a mentor to them, going out public speaking, you're for right. So everybody, and then on top of it, there was another lady from Mothers Against Police Brutality that was with you, which is JC, right? She came back and she helped tell the story of what happened to you. And then also at that time, before you got I'm going to say beat, you also had some people that was kind of like interns/youth with you as well, or do I have that part wrong? Yeah, I did. And they were traumatized. And for what I understand about Jason, I heard Jason was just traumatized. So, they couldn't believe it.
And I appreciate Jason coming back and spreading the word, because she was, she was the voice. She was there with me. But you say it was thousands of people in the street? And how did you hear about what happened?
How did you're Olinka Green. How could I not hear about it? Social media was flooded, phone calls going off. It was just like, what? So when you talk about, because at the same time, people don't know who they come in contact with daily. And they don't realize how much you are involved in the city of Dallas and even outside the state. Because really, as an activist, you're known on a national level. So somebody can come and beat you and not know who you are. And somebody like, hey, that's Olinka Green. She came to my school and spoke. Hey, that's Olinka Green. She came to my church. Hey, that's Olinka Green. She gave food to my kids and my mama. Hey, that's Olinka Green. Isn't that the woman that put on the breast? Remember when you was helping? Actually, we did it together, helping give food to pregnant women, educate the pregnant women, give them Pampers. We had the breastfeed, do all that. We also feed the people too. So there's thousands and thousands of people that already know you on the local and the national level. So when something happens that way, you can't help but to find out. If you're in the community, if you're in the streets, you will know. So people, the officer didn't realize what I'm going to use the word celebrity or national person that you were. So when they beat you, I'm sure it came when people come to the jail and protest and say free Olinka Green, the cops better listen.
Yeah,
so,
and plus they check your Facebook.
What did you say?
I say the police check your Facebook. They check your Facebook account.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, Mothers Police Against Police Brutality, that's a national organization by itself because that's founded by Colette Flanagan. Can you give us a little bit about backdrop about Mothers Against Police Brutality and how that was actually started and how did you get involved?
Basically, I met Miss Colette Flanagan, Mothers Against Police Brutality through Patrick Washington at a Dallas Weekly. And Mr. Ken Rose, Miss Flanagan's son, Clinton Allen, was killed by Dallas Police Officer Clark Starler. He was shot 7 times. And Mrs. Flanagan has been a strong advocate in police reform and shedding a light on police brutality. And so I met her through that. And, just a strong organization. And I would just tell anybody, man, look up Mothers Against Police Brutality because they are a force to be reckoned with. They don't play. And so I met her through that, and I met her through her grief. And we just started working with her and partnering together, with these police brutality issues. So I'm just glad to say that she's my friend and she's one of my mentors. But, just doing that work. And like I said, when I was in there, the police, the police department or the police system was very scared because they knew something was happening, but they just did not know what. And so, like I said, Dan Sullivan and some other people who I won't name, they worked real hard. People donated money from all over the world. From Hawaii, from Britain, from Sweden, from England, dimes, nickels, quarters, thousands of dollars, $100 to raise my bail. And so I was bailed out. Shout out to Bruce Wayne because he's my bail bond, but he's also their brother, when we were talking about earlier, that put foot to that ass, or that brother that was, jumping on me. So he's my real Batman, and I appreciate it. Shout out to We Make Real Music. They bonded me out. And when they bonded me out, I understood that, I could be looking at some time. But due to Dan Sullivan, Black Lives Matter, a very good friend of mine, Brother Aaron Michaels, and some real strong people, there was pressure put on DART and Dallas Police Department, and all charges was dropped. I was given a no bill, and you don't get that in Dallas, Texas. But so-called being the police officer up, all charges was dropped. That means no charges. They couldn't find no evidence. But I know that it just wasn't. I just know that it wasn't these people down here who I'm thankful for. I know it was a God. We always say, when you work hard in the community and you get the hearts and the minds of the people, whenever they need you. I've been this thing since I was 21. I ain't never been arrested. I get 45, and I get binged, 46, and I get binged up. The people came. So that showed me, and I'm crying right now, that showed me all that time that I spent on the road, being away from my kids, dealing with Nazi skinheads, just that struggle. Man, it paid off, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that, man.
We're thankful for you.
Man, they came and got me. They came and got me, man. They came and got me. And
you can't have a smoke on the show crying. Man, you can't have a smoke on the show crying.
I just said, man, that's love. That's love, man. They came and got me, man. So it's like Chairman Fred said, man, if you gonna live for the people, you gonna die for the people, man. You gotta be for the people. And I have been. And they showed me their gratitude, man, because they came and got your girl. And then all charges was dropped. So I'm thankful for that, man.
I don't think that has happened in the history of the Dallas Police Department, really, where all charges have been dropped for an assumed someone beating up the police. I don't think that has ever happened, so that says a lot right there. So I'm going to actually go into something else. Speaking of Dallas police, when the shooting happened in Dallas, I was watching the news, and someone on the news said Dallas doesn't have a police brutality issue. Dallas doesn't have a race issue. And with everything you just said, that kind of says to me that person that was talking on CNN didn't know what they were talking about. But I want to ask you, what do you think about the shooting and what happened at the shooting in Dallas? Because I know you were there. You were there.
Yeah. Me and Dominique, Jeff Hood is a good friend of mine, and Dominique Alexander, who's with the Next Generation, had called me because, and I wasn't going to get involved. This was after the shooting of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge and Philando Castile. There was a protest planned for that. So Jeff Hood asked me, he said, will you come? And I'm like, yeah, I'll come. So I went.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Miss Olinka. You said it was a shooting of who?
Alton Sterling, the brother in Baton Rouge, and the shooting of which we saw on video. So it was a protest to talk about the highlight the police brutality. But we got to go back when that person was talking about there's no problem, there's no police brutality in Dallas. He don't know about July the 24th, 1973, where Officer Don Kane shot 12-year-old Santos Rodriguez in the head in the back of the police car while the boy was handcuffed. See, that's what that person didn't know.
And then
Officer Don Kane,
he was killed. He was killed, and he didn't even have anything. They accused him of stealing something from a store, and that came out to be inaccurate. And they apologized years later.
Right, but it took the city of Dallas 40 years to apologize to Santos Rodriguez's mother. Don Kane is the only police officer in the history of Dallas to ever be indicted for murder. He only served 2 years. He was given a 5-year sentence and only served 2. But you can shoot a 12-year-old boy in the back in the head in handcuffs. So Dallas's first real riot was done July the 24th, 1973 in downtown Dallas. So, we need to, understand our history. But, that's what happened with that. And so, protesting the killing of these black men. And so, I had, went, and everybody was marching, and for the first time in a lot of protests, I was like, man, I'm not going to march. I'm just going to sit and wait for everybody to come back. And I was sitting in front of the Greyhound, on the other side of the Greyhound, which is on the side of the Texas Gym Club, and El Centro's on the other side. So the people were marching around El Centro. And so as soon as they got ready to come back up about Greyhound, I heard these bullets, and they were like, and I told my girlfriend I was with, I was like, Taz, run, somebody's shooting. And we took off running. And if I would have looked around that corner to my left, I could have seen this boy shooting. But what we was thinking is that we was thinking it was white supremacists shooting at us for this Black Lives Matter protest. And I just took off running. And I was telling everybody, man, active shooter, get the fuck back, somebody's shooting. And you could just see people falling in the middle of the street, coming out their shoes, leaving baby strollers. People were trying to get behind buildings because the way that it was sounded, it sounded like the bullets were echoing everywhere. You just did not know where they were coming from. And so I'm steady screaming. I'm in that protect mode. I'm telling people, run, run, run. And there's a video that you can go to where you see the police running toward the scene, and you can hear somebody saying, get the fuck back. And that's me. And so I'm not thinking about my safety. I'm trying to get people moved. And so what happened is that I'm like, man, we can't be out in the open because this dude might be walking around shooting. We don't know who it was. We didn't know that they were shooting at police. We didn't know that. We was thinking they were shooting at us. So I and 15 more people, we ran and got on a dark bus. And I told the bus driver, turn the lights off. Everybody get down on the floor. And I didn't have my phone. And so people were trying to text their families. It was kids on there crying. And I was just like, man, we got to figure out if we're going to stay on here, if we're going to leave, because we don't know where this dude is at shooting. And you can look out the window, you can see police hiding behind buildings and shit, because they didn't know where he was coming from. And so, like, man, we got to get out this bus. And so we took off the bus, and I told everybody, I said, man, listen here, we got to stay together. Don't nobody leave nobody. And so we started running, and when we ran into the Omni Hotel, we hid ourselves out in a cafe. And right before we shut the doors, we could see SWAT coming through because they thinking that he's in the building. They thinking it's more than one shooter. I was hidden in the Omni Hotel until my lawyer, Dan Sullivan, came and got me. And so, but this was before they shut downtown Dallas down. And it was scary because we didn't know what was happening. And then when we found out that this guy had killed his police officer, that's when the crazy started, because the media started saying that Black Lives Matter was terrorists, was saying that I and a whole bunch of other people that's been involved in this struggle, did we know Michael Johnson, trying to put us with this guy. I even found out through a Dallas reporter that the Dallas Fusion Center, which is like they gigantic CIA, whatever, was trying to find pictures of me and Michael Johnson together. They was trying to throw the Huey P. Newton Gun Club in with his brother. They was trying to throw the New Black Panther Party in with his brother. They threw Professor Griff in here with his brother. Anybody that they could throw with him, they was. They had newspaper articles saying that, suggesting stuff. And it was scary because when you understand COINTELPRO, which I said helped destroy Malcolm, Martin, and Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party, and the civil rights, you'll understand their governmental tactics, and this is what they were doing. And so they came after me, they came after a whole bunch of other people, and it was just scary. It was just scary. And I understood that they even trolled my Facebook page. They went on my Facebook page and printed something that I said on my Facebook page in the newspaper. So nothing was safe and nothing was sacred for about 3 weeks, and it's still not right now, because we don't know who this guy is. Even though this guy said that he was not operating with anybody, that wasn't good enough for them. Anybody that was in the Black Power movement here in Dallas, they was trying to get him. I know there's 2 people that I know that were swooped up that had nothing to do with none of this, was swooped up and taken to jail and interrogated, trying to say that they were thrown off in this. And then we got to understand about Mark Hughes, him and his brother. Mark was the one walking down the street with his gun and gave his gun. It's a right to protest. You got a right to carry in Dallas, Texas. Gave his gun to the Dallas Police Department, but yet they came back and were saying that he was the shooter. And they still ain't apologized to that dude. That dude got death threats, you know what I'm saying? So it's just that part of this movement. It got scary. It was really scary.
Now I want to move on to another question, because we get into the part where we're almost going to wind down, and then I'm going to have some hot seat questions for you. Yesterday it was announced that Dallas Police Chief David Brown has resigned. What are your thoughts on that? Or is not resigned, in the process of retiring. What do you think about that? And what do you think about him as the chief of police?
I think that dude been through a lot, having his brother killed by drug dealers, having his killed by somebody, having his son killed by the Dallas police, then having the Dallas Police Department shot up, then having his 5 officers shot, then having low morale in the police department. He tried to do some things, they didn't work out, and man, you can only do so much. And so I think that his legacy is going to be a man who came in up under a lot of difficult situations. He didn't do enough to make situations better. And by him retiring, they just going to bring somebody else in, and it's still going to be the same thing, you know. But him leaving,
Good question.
I don't feel no way about it, ma'am. Huh?
Good question. You said his son was shot by Dallas police. How did that happen? What happened with that?
His son was shot. His son killed a Lancaster police, and his son was killed. His son killed a cop, and his son was killed by a cop.
Wow.
So just imagine the type of pressure that man had to be up under. His brother was killed by a drug dealer. His partner was killed by somebody on the street. And then to come into this with 5 police officers being shot up under your watch, having the Dallas Police Department shot up. Remember when that dude shot up the police department in that armored car van? Low morale, police officers leaving. You know, he just came in up on a whole bunch of police brutality, police shootings, and I just feel like that he was hardcore. He did things to protect the police department with the 72 hours. You know, he didn't make it accessible for the people, and so when he got hit with all these things, I guess he was just like, man, I can't win here. I mean, I can't win. You know, I can only go so far. You know, and that's a lot of stress for that man. But like I said, as far as him leaving, how do I feel about it? It don't matter to me, because the police system is going to be what it's going to be. We still going to get shot. We still going to get brutalized, you know. And if anybody know about police brutality, it's him. And, you know, that's why he should have been more effective reaching out to the community instead of deflecting and hiding behind all these rules and all these laws, especially when you've been a victim yourself. So by him leaving, it just shows that, you know, he was ineffective in his own life and as far as his job.
Okay. Well, I want to get into a couple of hot seat questions for you. First hot seat question. What do you say when people say all lives matter and you're a part of Black Lives Matter? What's the difference?
I go, for real? I'd be like, yeah, for real? I was like, if all lives matter, then why do we have to say Black Lives Matter? If all lives matter. Why do we have to say Black Lives Matter?
I know what you're saying, but can you break down the difference?
Basically, it's like, we know all lives matter, but shit, we the ones being killed more. And then that's when you start laying out the statistics. If all lives matter, then why are we being killed the most? So apparently, in y'all's eye, we don't matter. So that's why we have to say these things. We have to, you know, it's like somebody saying, it's like if you go to a funeral and somebody has died, say like your Uncle Red or something. Your Uncle Red has died of kidney cancer. And somebody comes to the funeral and say, oh yeah, my dad died of tuberculosis. We're not talking about what your dad died of. We're talking about our life. So when we put in context and we're saying Black Lives Matter, we're talking about us specifically because we're the ones that's dying specifically. We have to make a distinction about what's really happening. We have to set ourselves out. Remember when I was telling you about the tuna? It wasn't the whales that was dying. It was the albacore that was dying. So we had to have an advocate for the albacore say, yeah, hey, guess what? We over here dying too. So we have to make a distinction and we have to make a clarion call to say, listen, to go, hey, we matter. Don't forget about us, we matter. And we have to make that loud and we have to make that understand that our lives matter. And so now when people say Black Lives Matter, that make you raise up. People pay attention to that. But just like anything else, there are certain groups of folks that want to be bigger than others. They want to put their supremacy over other people. It don't go that way because guess what? we here, and our Black Lives Matter, and we're going to keep on saying it, and you can't stop. I don't care if you put your flags out and make the city blue. We here. We here.
How do you counter that when people say, well, if Black Lives Matter, then why y'all kill each other? But I think all races kill all races. They kill it the same. But what do you say to that? Because that's the first thing that I hear people say.
Well, when people say Black Lives Matter, we talking about when we kill each other too. We just not talking about white folks killing us. We get upset when Ray killed Sean down the street. That his Black Lives Matter too, and we hold our people just accountable for when we kill each other as the white folks do. But people need to get that stuff untwisted. That we care. Right. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, we talk about black on black crime too. We just don't be like, oh man, them killing me. Nah, we get about that too. We don't like that either. And so we protest about that too. We make it known that when we say Black Lives Matter, we talk about killers that kill us, that look like us, and that is the most horrendous one, when somebody that look like you kill you. That's even more horrible when the white police officers kill us, because we killing ourselves. And so we make that known also, so they can throw that out the window, and I would expect them to use that as that excuse.
Okay. Well, I know many people refer to you as the modern-day Harriet Tubman. So, Miss Modern-Day Harriet Tubman, I want you to shout out your social media and tell people where they can find you.
Well, right now you can find me on Facebook if they want to holler at me. Show-Olinka Green on Facebook. They want to email me, they can holler at me at OYINKA OYinkaG@gmail.com. But as of next Thursday, I'm gonna be in St. Croix on the island somewhere doing something really, really nice. I am taking my I'm out of here. I've decided that that's what I need to do. I'm chilling from here on out. So people can reach me on Facebook if they want to holler. They can reach me on like I say, Show-Olinka Green. They can reach me on my email, OYinkaG, OYINKAGEE @gmail.com if they want to talk. But otherwise than that, man, I'm inactive right about now. I'm just getting ready. I'm just getting ready to catch an airplane. I'm about. I've done my work. And I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, number one, I want to thank you for joining the Flame Show. I'm your girl, Kay the Truth. If you're not dealing with Kay, it's definitely not the truth. Shout out to you for having us. What'd you say, Queen?
I said already for that.
Already. And I want you to have a good day with Show-Olinka Green, and we will talk to you soon, because we need to have you back. Because that was just a tip of the iceberg, but I know you have more knowledge and more to share.
Well,
it's the Flame Show, powered by.
You're listening to FFTG Radio, the industry in the street.
From the gutter.com.